Hi, my name is Jackie and welcome back to my channel. I am continuing with my countdown to autumn with the DAVIDsTEA Fall Favorite Sampler, and I'm really enjoying myself so far, especially yesterday's cardamom French toast blend. Love that blend. I miss it already. I feel like I'm already looking at an order of the pumpkin chai, the forever nuts, and the cardamom French toast, but we will see if I'm gonna add today's blend to that list as well. But before we get into it, if you're not already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and smash that subscription button so you know when I upload. We like to talk about tea here. Now, you may or may not know this about me. I feel like I've mentioned it a couple of times on my channel, but it's not something that I broadcast very regularly. But I used to be a really big coffee drinker back in the day, especially during college and like right after college. I've been drinking tea, like exploring the tea world for about a decade now, but I don't think I went hard into tea until like maternity leave, because even when I was working in like a corporate setting in a corporate office, I was still my beverage of choice in the morning was definitely still coffee. I needed some potent caffeine to get me through the days. But since maternity leave and since having Oliver, I almost never have coffee in the house. However, I do tend to keep coffee beans in the freezer during autumn and winter, just because if you're familiar with Michigan winters or just like the winters in the north in general, it's dark, it's freezing, and it's long, and sometimes I need the extra boost to get me going in the morning, especially since like when you wake up, it's still like dark outside even though it's almost 8 o'clock in the morning. So I am especially excited to try today's blend because it is the Vanilla Cappuccino from DAVIDsTEA. This smells just like a coffee house. I mean, it is coffee, it is sweet. There's a little bit of fruitiness in here and a little bit of creaminess. All right, let's go ahead and steep this up. Vanilla Cappuccino from DAVIDsTEA is a blend of apple, black tea, rose hips, candied pineapple, coffee beans, natural coffee flavoring with stevia extract, and artificial cream and vanilla flavoring. Okay, I've had to do a couple takes of this. I keep getting interrupted. First, let me tell you, I prepared this a little bit differently than I normally would. Instead of using just 1 perfect teaspoon, I used 2 perfect teaspoons. I learned my lesson with the sweet potato pie blend that I thought was just sort of lackluster. So I chose to do 2 perfect teaspoons, or in this case, like the whole pot of the vanilla cappuccino blend. And it's a black tea, so typically the recommended steeping time is going to be 3 to 5 minutes. I let this steep for like 15 to 20 minutes, no joke. I tasted it at 5 minutes and it tasted fine. It wasn't getting bitter, and so then I just let it go. I was really trying to extract as much coffee flavor as I could from those coffee beans. I knew that I was running the risk of like over steeping the black tea, but this is not bitter or anything like this. And actually, I'm gonna have to look this up, but so this says that it's a pu'er tea, but like in the ingredients, it just says that it's black tea. So I don't know if this is pu'er tea, then that makes sense why the tea didn't oversteep, but I'm kind of confused as to why it says black tea. And I mean, if it is pu'er tea, I feel like in the ingredients, they probably need to correct that, because there are people that cannot consume pu'er tea. That could be problematic for them. You might want to double check. You might want to reach out to DAVIDsTEA on that one, just because I'm seeing some conflicting labeling on the packaging over here. So yeah, I steeped this one. I steeped the dickens out of it and doubled up on the scoops. And this smells delicious. I mean, it smells like vanilla coffee. Taste-wise, you know what? It's interesting. So this is a blend that I feel like I would much prefer as like chilled. Not necessarily iced, or maybe iced if I had like more tea to make like a concentrated batch of tea. But there is definitely a big difference between drinking this hot and drinking this now as sort of like room temperature. The flavoring is definitely more prominent and definitely stands out a lot more now that this is like room temperature or just like lukewarm. It's actually really nice. I definitely do taste vanilla cappuccino. I mean, it's definitely a more delicate flavor than like an actual vanilla cappuccino. But yeah, I definitely do taste the element of coffee, and paired with the vanilla cream flavor, it really does taste like a vanilla cappuccino. The fruit that was added in here kind of like threw me off for a second, but I think I'm really appreciating it. Sort of in the same way that like there are certain types of tea that just naturally taste bright and fruity. The added pieces of fruit in this kind of make it taste like a coffee bean that is sort of naturally bright and fruity as well. I think that and the stevia also add like a really nice subtle sweetness to this. Like I personally would not add sugar to this. And as somebody who really doesn't like stevia, again, this is another blend where I just don't notice the flavor of stevia. Like stevia can have like a really distinct, and for me sometimes unpalatable flavor. I definitely don't get it in this blend. This is like a solid maybe. Like I know that I was saying like I definitely want to get the pumpkin chai, I definitely want to get more cardamom French toast, I definitely want to get more forever nuts. This is actually like a solid maybe. Like I am actually really enjoying this. I feel like I'm kind of surprised. I don't know why, because like I thought going into it, I feel like I'm gonna like it, but I feel like I'm surprised by how much I like it. Like I feel like they did a really great job of capturing the flavor profile of a vanilla cappuccino, especially now that it's cooling down. This is not one that I would want to drink like hot. Now, if you're like a hardcore coffee fiend who is looking for like a caffeine-free or a lesser caffeinated version of coffee, I don't think that this is really gonna be for you, just because I really do think the flavor is really quite delicate. I feel like there are better alternatives that kind of capture that robust coffee flavor, like the vanilla nut blend from Ticino is one that comes to mind. Well done, David's Tea. Well done. I feel like they do their coffee blends well, because like I really enjoyed this. I am really enjoying the coffee pour. And their cardamom macchiato was also really nice. They know how to blend coffee and tea well, so I really appreciate that. Yeah, I feel like the more I drink this, just the happier I'm becoming. Like this is really good. This is really good. This is like slowly moving out of maybe territory into like, dude, I want more of this. But now it's your turn. Let me know if you have tried the vanilla cappuccino from David's Tea, and what did you think of it? Did you enjoy it as much as I enjoyed it? I mean, I polished it off, that's for sure. I don't think I typically do that on film. And I know we're all tea drinkers here, but how many of you are coffee drinkers too? Like I said, I love coffee. I don't think I'm ever gonna not love coffee. I love to buy my coffee from Kalamazoo Coffee Company. I went to school in Kalamazoo, Michigan, so that just kind of makes me feel a little bit nostalgic. I love their coffee. I like to get like a medium roast Mexican bean, but also they have a really, really delicious maple walnut scented coffee that like I am obsessed with. Like that blend just makes me feel so nostalgic. So if you're looking for a coffee company to buy from, might I suggest Kalamazoo Coffee Company. But if you love coffee too, let me know what some of your favorite kinds of coffee are. And as usual, if you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing, and I hope to see you guys again soon. Bye.